Hi chickens, I thought I would make a secondary video today to talk a little bit about SelfLove September and explain how you can get your hands on the SelfLove September Extras package, what it entails, etc. So I want to start by saying if you're new here and you have no idea what SelfLove September is, then I'm going to explain now in brief what exactly is going on. You don't have to do anything, you don't have to lift a finger to help. I'm going to do everything and all you need to do is imbibe what I create, essentially. But there are certain ways that you can get involved. If you do want to go that step further and go on your own journey or tell your own story, then no one is opposed to that. SelfLove September has become a bit of a movement. It's my 4th year doing it now, and a lot of other people like to also now take the month of September to check in with the theme of self-love and really think about it in more depth and actually do their own work and go on their own particular journey. So no one's opposed to that. Everybody loves that. I love to get involved with that and see what other people are doing and learn more about their self-love stories too. So I'm just going to explain basically what SelfLove September is, what you can expect from me during the month of September, and then I'm going to explain a little bit about the extras package and a few other things. So this is just basically where the SelfLove September information point is. And if you have any questions that I do not answer during the course of this video, please leave them down below and I will endeavour to answer them as well. Back in 2014, I was sitting around during the month of August thinking to myself, I would love to do a month-long project about something. I would love to really dive in to something more specific on my channel where I could get a bunch of content together and really lay it out and kind of present a lot of ideas in one kind of bulk of time that would be representative of just one thing. And I thought to myself, I would really like to make a lot of videos and give out a lot of information on self-love. Self-love is really integral to my own journey. It's something that has really been a big fucking deal, a big theme for me in overcoming my issues with mental health, my issues with self-loathing, and finding myself on a path that felt right for me in life rather than trying to shove myself into a particular hole when I simply was not that shape, you know? So it's really been a important thing for me to carry with me as a daily practice in life. The practice of self-love has been something that's kept me on the straight and narrow, something that's kept me heading in a direction that feels healthy for me. And I love to impart information on self-love, and I love to see other people actually beginning to bring self-love into their lives as a daily practice and see the positive effects of that. And I love to help people who might have fallen off of the bandwagon of self-love, if you like, to get themselves back on, get themselves newly inspired and start thinking about how they can live in a more self-loving way on the fucking daily. So I decided to birth SelfLove September in 2014, and I decided I was just going to make loads of videos during the month of September of that year that were all based on self-love. And I've got that little alliteration thing, SelfLove September. I know it's tacky, I know it's cheesy, but there's something about alliteration that just makes me happy, okay? I don't know what it is, but there we have it. So I decided the next year that I was going to do SelfLove September again, and then I decided the next year that, you know what, I'm going to do it again. I really enjoyed it. And so 2017 is now going to mark the 4th year of doing SelfLove September on my YouTube channel. So what you can expect are a number of videos on the topic of self-love that will roll out throughout the month of September. My plan is to put videos out in the month of September every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. I have actually planned what these videos are going to be about. I have actually decided on the themes and the topics already. I've written the notes for them and I'm currently in the process of filming them. As well as being able to come to my channel all throughout September and get lots of content on self-love and lots of my personal insights on self-love from both a personal and professional standpoint, you'll also be able to go onto my SoundCloud account every single Sunday during the month of September and download a free audio file, which will also be on a particular topic that pertains to the theme of self-love. So it's basically wall-to-wall self-love content. I'm going to smother my social media platforms in self-love. You'll also be able to find self-love stuff going on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. I'm just going to be talking about it, thinking about it, writing about it, preaching it, teaching it, saying it and praying it. If you would like to know more about why self-love matters so much to me and why it's featured so much in my own journey, I'll link you below to a video that I made last year at the beginning of SelfLove September 2016 that explains a little bit more about why it's important to me. And I will also link a video from last year about my mental health journey that may also help to flesh out for you quite a bit of my own story and help you to come to a point where you understand why self-love as a daily practice has been life-saving and game-changing for me personally. Last year's SelfLove September was interesting because we kind of moved it on a little bit from its ordinary dynamic. So ordinarily I would just make all of the content and talk about self-love, and we'd have some discussion in the comments, etc. But there wasn't really a call for anybody else to get actively involved. Last year I launched the hashtag SelfLove Stories, and I encouraged people to use that hashtag as a way for us to be able to locate the stories that they were telling about their own self-love journey and why self-love was important to them, or their struggles with it. And I really want to bring that back this year. So we're going to be using two hashtags. We're going to be using SelfLove Sept, but we're also going to be using SelfLove Stories. If you would like to talk about your own journey with self-love on your YouTube channel, on your blog, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, wherever the case may be, then you can use the hashtag SelfLove Stories, and that will enable people to be able to search that hashtag on multiple different platforms and find the self-love stories that have been put forward for the year of 2017. So that's going to be something that you can get involved with if you want to. You do not have to if you don't want to. I'm definitely going to be searching that hashtag throughout the month of September and taking in and imbibing people's stories when and where I can, and hopefully sharing some of those stories on my social media platforms as well, so my audience can get a taste of the stories that other people have and the suggestions other people have, the advice that other people have, you know, the trials and tribulations other people have experienced. So it's really more interactive now, I think, and that's something that I really wanted to achieve. If the idea of sharing your personal story about self-love appeals to you, then you might want to start thinking about what you want to say and how you want to present it, which platform you would like to put it on, and then just use the hashtag SelfLove Story so we can find your self-love story and enjoy hearing more from you and learning about you. If you are a content creator, if you have a YouTube channel, if you have a blog, anything like that, please don't worry about using SelfLove September as your personal opportunity to put forth your advice, your experiences, any content that you want to make about self-love. Last year, before SelfLove September launched, I had a big influx of emails and comments from people who were asking me if it was okay for them to make their own videos about self-love, or whether or not they would be stepping on my toes. Really, I think it's great that it's become more of a movement and we've got that momentum. We've got other people talking about it and other people giving their advice, their experiences, talking about their concerns, their memories, you know. I think that's really good, and that's where I want it to go. I would love for other people to get involved and to make content around self-love. It's always interesting for me to hear from other people. As I've always said since the very beginning of talking about this stuff, it's a daily practice. It's not a destination. And that's something that I've learned through my own experiences, is just realizing that for a long time I was trying to reach this point of self-love from whence I would never return. You know, I was thinking of it as a destination. I was thinking of it as a place that I needed to arrive. And it was when I started to rework that mindset and figure out that self-love is just a choice that you make every single day, and sometimes multiple times a day, that I recognized the true power of it. It was that mindset shift that needed to happen. That being said, I still imbibe a lot of self-love related content. I still have to make certain choices or go through certain challenges that involve having to reconnect with the meaning of self-love. It's not something that I just learned and it was like a light switch and I never need to think about it again or process it again. Actually, quite the contrary. During the month of September, I think about self-love. I do my card draws for self-love. I journal more about self-love, you know. So I love to imbibe resources from other people. So by all means, make your videos, write your blog posts, and then slap them with the two hashtags, and for sure enjoy sharing your own content. And I think it's great that audiences can cross-pollinate in this way as well, and we can all maybe get to know each other in deeper ways that we didn't know each other before. I met up with a lot of new creators last year from going and listening to their self-love stories. I discovered channels I'd never discovered before, so it was great. It was really good. So if you want to be involved in that way, the hashtags are there for you so that you can be found, so that you can share your stuff with those who are looking for it. Through dedicating the entirety of the month of September to self-love, I am in no way saying that the rest of the year should be self-love free. And actually, I tend to make videos and resources throughout the year that are related to self-love. I don't just wait until September and kind of preciously save everything up and then see September as the one month where we can dive deeply into this theme. You know, I think it's important to look at it every day. I think it's important that we visit it whenever we think it's pertinent for us to do so as individuals. September is basically just there to zoom in on this really important topic and this really essential concept and give ourselves to it completely, in much the same way as a lot of people like to use the entirety of October or the entirety of November to do shadow work. It doesn't necessarily mean they don't do shadow work any other time of year. It's literally just a way of zooming in on something that is such an important practice and does mean so much to so many people, and it's giving it that consistent focus, that ongoing focus that so often actually triggers breakthroughs and realizations and mindset shifts, etc. So that's what September is for me in terms of self-love. I'm in no way saying that we don't talk about it any other time. I'm in no way saying that it's not appropriate at any other time, or that we only need to focus on it for 1 month of the entire year. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I would ever say. It's for every day in every way. But I just feel like it's good to have a whole month to really think about it. It's good to really honour it. I have a private Facebook group where me and a bunch of my clients tend to hang out and we talk about spirituality, self-love, personal development, and we congratulate each other on the milestones that we're reaching, and we talk about issues that we're going through. It is a really lovely little place where we are cultivating a slowly and steadily thriving community of people that I'm hoping are going to be able to continue to enjoy this dialogue and start to really lean into working with each other even more. We have discussions in there that are lively and interesting, and I feel really privileged to have been able to kind of formulate a community online, a private community of clients online that really are interacting with each other as well as just interacting with me. So it's really awesome. And my plan for this year is to offer private interactive masterclasses and private worksheets within the realm of my Facebook group. I'm going to be offering 5 masterclasses over the course of the month, and they will each run for at least an hour. I'm going to be offering 13 worksheets over the course of the month as well, and they will be rolling out within the private Facebook group. If you want to get your hands on these resources where you can actually have access to me as a mentor in self-love throughout the month, and you can also start to interact with the other people in the group and have discussions about self-love in the group, then you will need to purchase the SelfLove September Extras package. I'm going to leave the link below that will take you to all of the information, and I'm also going to leave a link below to a live stream that I offered on my Facebook page where I actually just talk for about half an hour or so about SelfLove September in brief, and then about the details of the extras package in particular, so you can understand if it's the right thing for you. I'm also going to be offering another live stream later in the month, at least one other live stream on my Facebook page, where I'm going to talk everybody through the details of the extras package. So if you do have questions for me on that, you can either leave them below, or you can make sure that you're getting notifications for my Facebook page so you can see when I'm next going live, because I'm going to be giving all the details again. I'm going to be explaining again what the ins and outs of it are. But essentially, the extras package is basically just you gaining access to my private group, where you will be given the masterclasses, the interactive masterclasses, the worksheets, and a chance to develop a community and dialogue with a community throughout the month of September. You also get ongoing access to my Facebook group. So after you actually purchase the extras package, you gain access to the group via the instructions that you get upon purchasing. But then at the end of September, you get to retain your access to the group. So you carry on hanging out with us, you enjoy the monthly live streams that I do in there, and you just get a chance to be a part of the community that I'm cultivating. So definitely give it some thought. Bear in mind that all of the YouTube videos that I'm offering are going to be free. There is no payment process for them. There's nothing like that. They're just going to be public videos that you get access to for nothing. But if you want to get your hands on the masterclasses, if you want to have extra access to me, if you want the opportunity to ask me questions about the videos you're watching on YouTube, and you'd also like the opportunity to use the worksheets that I'm developing, then you will need to buy the extras package. So definitely give it your consideration. I have playlists for SelfLove September 2014, 2015 and 2016 currently available on my YouTube channel. So if you would like to imbibe some of the content from previous years, then you certainly can do that. You can whack a playlist on and get a taste of what SelfLove September is all about, and catch up on anything that you didn't have the chance to see previously. I would definitely recommend that between now and the beginning of September, you basically just write down some of your intentions for the month of September. So if you fully intend to commit to watching the free resources and maybe journaling on them, then definitely write down that that is your goal and that is what you want to achieve. If you would like to read some books about self-love or do some readings for yourself on the theme of self-love during September, make sure that you write that down as an intention. If you plan to work with someone else or with a group of people going through the YouTube videos that I'm providing, then do that. If you want to purchase the extras package and commit yourself to my masterclasses and worksheets, write that down. That is your intention. That is your goal. You know, so it's really about finalizing your goals, zooming in on them and saying, I am going to commit to giving September completely to the theme of self-love. I'm going to focus on it. I'm going to amplify it. I'm going to elevate it. I'm going to honor it because it is important and because I am important and because I matter. So it's about making that strong commitment. Focusing so much on self-love throughout an entire month can definitely be the beginning of some really interesting conversations between yourself and your loved ones, between yourself and people that you interact with online. It can really start to help you to think about the different ways that you're living your life in different areas, thinking about areas where you might need to bring self-love in more, thinking about areas where you've been sacrificing too much of yourself or your needs and you really want to come back to giving yourself more empowerment, giving yourself more care. So, you know, I think Self-Love September can really just shake certain things to the top, and it can be a time for us to maybe confront the areas in life where we're not being as self-loving as we would like. As I've been writing the notes for each of these 13 videos, I've been feeling really fucking fizzy, really fizzy. I'm feeling excited. I feel like I'm doing the right things and I'm talking about the right things this year. I feel like I've created a really interesting combination of videos that I'm going to be putting out. I really hope that you guys enjoy them. Thank you so much for your support and for being a member of my audience. I appreciate it so, so much. Some of you will know and some of you won't know that there's now a bell that you need to hit somewhere or other to make sure that you get the notifications. Some people are not receiving notifications for all of their channels that they're subscribed to. If you want to make sure that you are receiving notifications for my channel, then you're going to need to hit the bell. Not sure where the bell is. Let me just have a little look. Let me have a look at somebody else's YouTube channel in order to establish where the fucking bell is, because I really don't know. Oh, okay, so underneath my video you will see my name, and then to the right of that there's a little bell. Hit that bell and that will ensure that you receive notifications from me so you never miss a beat. Much love, guys. Blessed be.